Yes, so the first question that Mr. Zahid is asking is about the composition, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, we have several reference about the compositions. For general reference, we use this reference. So this is, I'm going to give the link later after the video. This is the Compendium of Material Composition Data for Radiation Transport Modeling. So in this reference, it contains a lot of materials of each data, but this is more general if we want to build like a facility or building. We have aluminum, argon, asphalt, bismuth, beryllium, even blood. There are a lot of material in this. So, for example, if I'm going to model a, a blood or, for example, a soft tissue, I can just search to make it easier. Search tissue, and there are a lot of modeling of tissue. I'm going to take this one, tissue soft. This. If I click, the link, the table of content is actually the link. In this, when I click, there,
Sir, I
yes,
have a question, sir.
pardon?
I have a question. Is this book available in software?
Yes,
Okay.
available. I'm going to give you after this.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So when you click the link, it will directly put you to the material that you want. For example, so the top soft tissue in this ICRU for component, this is the density and formula. Since soft tissue is a complex things, so there are no formula of complex tissue. But for example, like titanium, there's a formula of Ti. And how we rate this is like this. So soft tissue, the information that we want to get from this is the mass fraction. So in this case, soft tissue consists of 10% hydrogen, 11% of carbon, 2% of nitrogen, and 76% of oxygen. But this is not our main source of material, since we don't model any building or facility. But this is our main source of the composition. I still going to give this soft file after the video, after the meeting. Adult reference computational phantoms, and in this file, in this reference, in list of media and their elemental composition. Copy, paste, and then search. And then you will get the more from the previous reference. We got almost any material like building, road, aluminum, titanium. But for this reference, we only get the material of human body. For example, teeth, bone, even bone. We have several material, and then what again? Kidney, skin, blood, and yeah, this is, and the right column is the density of the material. So yes, the first question, this is the material of the tissue, and the material of cancer is actually almost the same, but there are this paper who specially, I don't know how they get the data. I think they also do a research. The elemental composition of tumors, Kerma data for neutrons. In this publication, there is a elemental composition of tumor. So depending on what tumor that you want to create. For example, my my research, it's adenocarcinoma. So adenocarcinoma is consists of hydrogen, carbon, hydrogen 9.9%, carbon this much, and then you can rate the rest. And each cancer, each tumor or tissue type, they actually have a different material. So yeah, this is the material. Yeah, I answered the first two question. Is that the answer that you want to hear, or am I missing something?
No, sir, I think it's enough. But we are using skin as an example for our simulation. So sorry, we are using.
Yes. If you want to write or type, I will wait. Is that any additional question about the first and second question?
Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. My light is off actually. Sir, my
Okay.
question is: we are using skin for the lips cancer for the simulation. So our lips is also part of our skin. So we are use the skin, I think. Is that correct?
The cancer.
Yes, sir. Since it's
I
lips
think,
cancer, lips is also part of our skin.
yes. I think that's correct. Some publication says that the material of cancer is the same as the surrounding tissue. But in this publication, I think it's better to follow this publication, since this publication they have a precise type of tumor. Yes, I don't know. I forgot where I read that, but yeah, some paper they say that it's just the same as the surrounding tissue, but some say that yes, like this. I think it's better to directly model the type of cancer that you want to create. Is there any question?
Okay, sir. We will proceed then.
Okay, thanks. And the third question, once we made the tumor cell, how we can place it to the male or female phantom? Yes, I think I'm going to get into this soon. And the fourth one is, how much information do we need to make our result in thesis? In my case, I think geometry, those absorption, those we can make it in the table or even in graph. And I think the the next important part is the organ at risk. There is things or a concept called organ at risk. Organ at risk. So organ at risk is when we radiate our mouth, for example, our lips. The radiation not only radiate our mouth, but also probably in our eyes, nose, or even in our tongue or teeth. Yeah, and those organs are called organ at risk of developing another issue or health issue. For example, if I perform radiotherapy for prostate cancer, the organ at risk will be organ at risk prostate cancer. Yeah, this picture is really good. So this is the prostate, and we radiate some particle in this area, the bladder will be receive a radiation, and the rectum also will receive the radiation. So the bladder, rectum will be called organ at risk. Also in this area, I think it's a bowel or intestine. Femoral is the bone of our legs. So yeah, the next one is we need to understand the organ at risk or organ that exists in the surrounding cancer. We need to also calculate the dose on that organ. And then we also need the information of the limit of those organs. For example, if I take this take this quick search of prostate cancer. So this is the quick search of prostate cancer. We must see or search the maximum limitation that that organ can receive. For example, in this case, the bladder can only receive maximum 50 gray. So if our simulation, the result of our simulation more than 51 gray, then more than 50 gray, then it will be bad for the patient. I think that's it, and we're going to proceed our learning for today. So today I'm going to show you how to make a phantom from the template. So yeah, just get ready. So when I create such phantom, first I'm going to go to lecture 1 and search input, and then I copy one of these, like lecture 011. I
Sir, I have
copy
a
the.
question. Sir, I have a
Pardon?
question before we. I
Yes,
have a
yes.
question. What's my question? Is there any limitation for PTV, CTV, and GTV so that we can set its radius? For example, GTV.
Yes. Pardon, I think your connection is.
Sir, I'm saying that if we set the GTV encoding, so is there any restriction that we can shouldn't exceed its radius? For example, if we want to keep it 3 centimeter, I mean, I'm trying to say is if it's 3 centimeter, is that supposed to be fixed or we can set it manually?
Yeah, we can set it manually, but depend on the cancer that you want to model. I think I'm going to also talk about it later.
Okay, sir.
Yes, thanks. Okay, so the first one, going to this in inputs. This is in lecture 1, PHITS lecture, basic lecture 1, and then input. I just want to copy a random file just so I don't have to write from literal 0 and then just pass it. Let's name it cancer. I think phantom. Will be our code look like. So and then we go to the from the previous meeting, we got this input files. So this is radiation physics group webpage. Remember, there are two types. It depends on what cancer do you study or want to model. I choose adult male phantom. This is actually from MCNP code. but MCNP code and PHITS are almost the same, so we can use directly. Cell card in MCNP is cell card, and in PHITS it's just cell. We can copy and put in the cell part. And the next one, surface, also put in surface section. In MCNP, also work in bits. C in the front like this is comment, like comment is when you put a character so your code don't recognize it as code. We already copy the surface, and then this is the material. There are few ways to write material, and this is one of those. But we are going to talk about it later. We put in material. So yeah, actually, we have to really thank for the people who making this, so we don't have to create it from zero, and he make it open source. And then the final part is transform. This is the volume, but for now we don't need this information. This is TR1, TR2 is transform. Transform is for transforming our geometry. But for transform, we need additional section. Okay, we already copy all of this information, but there are some things that we need to adjust before we doing something. If you, and I hope, already study about the first lecture, I think you're familiar with this. I mean, there is no this type of variable, right? But MCNP does exist. So we don't need any IMP colon p equal to 1. So we are going to delete this. Copy Ctrl F and then replace. I just delete this, but I use this method so it will be faster. Then replace all. So IMP will be gone. And the next one is deleting this one, deleting this symbol. I think the name of this symbol is ampersand. And first deleting this symbol, and then make this line in line with this one. So yeah, I'm going to using this method. So I block all of this. I copy. No, wait. Block from the empty to the next one. I copy. Ctrl F. Replace all. So the ampersand will be gone, and the line will be in line with the upper line. Let's see if it. And we have few more. We do the same thing. Yeah, I think that's all. I'm trying to run this code. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, there is a error in this 275 line. This is I don't know the source of this error. Actually, it's came from one 225. Oh, this is in PHITS there are two type of geometry. I think you guys know. One is the regular space, and the second one is the outer space. The outer space or outer void, we must define it directly. In MCNP, the outer void is denoted by this IMP colon P equal to 0. So we just delete this and then change from 0 to -1. And you will have this error. This error is come from the geometry of ribs, but in this case, you will not see any information about which part that error, which part the error is. So you must carefully reading this instruction. There is a geometry error, and you must see the cell section in the input echo. So when we run the PHITS codes, we will get this file in the folder, in the same folder that we create our file. This is the name PHITS out, and you can see first we got this warning, but we are going to get it later. And we also have this warn, right? Error in cell section listed above. So we are going to look the error in here. So this is the error. It came from geometry of ribs, bones in our chest. We are going to look for the ribs. Yeah, this is actually the ribs. Cell number 29. I think there's a gap. We must delete the gap and delete the outer parenthesis. This is also the gap. And delete the outer parenthesis. And the last one, we must enter in this section and put some tab until the upper right, upper row and the lower row, it looked like this. How do I know? I don't really know. I ever run this code and trying to copy it to the bits, and I just found this method and it just worked. So yeah, we're going to run this again. And about this warning, this is not particularly an error. It was when we transform, we change the coordinate of our surface and geometry. There will be an error to rounding. No, this is not what I wanted. ICNTL, there's a few method. 0 is for regular calculation, but we want to see the geometry, so we change it to 8, and we run the codes.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes. Yes. Can you?
Sir, how can we remove the unnecessary part after selecting it?
How what?
How we can remove the unnecessary part in the input after selecting it? You just did, sir. You just did 5 minutes ago in the input phantom input.
How? Pardon?
The unnecessary parts are that we should remove from the input.
like the way that I just do a few minutes ago.
Yes, sir. You replaced it, sir. You replaced it, I think.
Yes. It just I think it's I
After
delete
selecting
I
it,
delete. Select yes. So things that I just done and actually is I converting the the MCNP code MCNP format to the PHITS format, and actually there is a tutorial in the PHITS itself. If you want to know why or the reason I do those things, actually in here. So if you look in this file, there's a basic exercise and MCNP user. So as you can see, I think people more familiar with MCNP. So the PITS developer is also give the tutorial in how we can change from MCNP to PITS code. And wait, I think it's loading. And if you read this, you also will find the explanation that I just give it to you, but in more formal manner. Now this is actually what I just done. So for me, I think it will be faster when I doing the things that you just see. So yeah, we copy and paste the surface, the material cards and input, and then uh, the same, put it in the appropriate section. If we pass it from cell, we put in cell, surface in surface, material in material, and then we also delete the EMP colon equal to 1, if I'm not mistaken, and then we also change the material outer void. This is the first error that we get from the previous. We change from 0 to -1, and then yeah, I think the rest is not that important. Is that answer your question?
sir, first when we copy the phantom from the website, then you paste it into the fits input file. Then you replace the semicolon, something like that, and you replaced it. And I don't know how you replaced it. The procedure for it.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So we can manually delete that. We delete one by one, but for me, I use tools like GTRLF, GTRL. So wait, GTRL. I press this button, so this window will pop out. You can find, it's like in Microsoft Word. You can find something like hurt, no, hurt, hurt. Just for looking for something, and the things that I done from the previous is replace. So I find something that I want to replace and replace it with nothing. So basically, I delete those words, right? I find something and replace it with nothing. After I find all of those, I just click replace all. Is that the explanation that you looking for?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I got it, sir. Thank you, sir. Proceed, sir.
Yes. Okay. And after we run, I think I haven't done with the explanation of this one. It's just a warning that we changed the coordinate of our phantom, but code the code is have an error itself due to rounding. You know, rounding, like, right? It's not that important, but it's just a warning. It give us a warning. It's not a big deal. After we run, so this is the our code already done, and we can press any key. I love to press enter, and we back to the our folder, and this folder will exist in this track XYZ XZ. This is our phantom. It will look like this since we this is the parameter that we define in T track. As you can see, the vertical, I think, yeah, it's horizontal part. This horizontal part, it's axis Z axis from minimum value of 20 to 60, and the vertical part is X axis from the minimum value of negative 20 till the 20. It's not that clear, but we can change the parameter to make it better. We go to the T track and change the minimum value of x-axis to negative 30, and then x max, the maximum value of x to 30. And we're going to run the code for the second times. This is done, and then manually we have to click the folder and then double click the picture. But I just realized that if I directly click this picture, it automatically being updated. So now the maximum and minimum value of x is changed. Now the negative 30 and the maximum value is 30. But we also want to make the z axis longer. So I'm going to choose the minimum z value is 70 and the maximum is 100. It's already done, and then we can take a look. So this is our phantom. We can do a lot of things with this, but this is just a brief review. We just cut the phantom in half and look the center of this phantom. I think it will be still hard to understand the phantom and our organ. So I suggest the second method. I really hope that I think it's I love I think it's better to see our phantom in 3 dimension. For you who has not understand how to create the 3 dimensional plot, you can click run and just the PHIG 3 dimensional and just click. And this window will pop up. We wait for the loading. And you will get this picture. It will be confusing for some people, but just stick with me. In this cell, you can choose, this is the name of the cell, and you can pick which one is that you want to see and which one is not. If you put the checklist, then you want to the program to plot that cell or geometry. There is a resolution or sampling rate. The higher you use, the better the resolution, but also the slower. I think I will use 1000. I think it's enough. And just click advanced and memory usage. Just use 97. I don't really understand about this one, but just do this. It works. You click draw. You need to reload this one. We wait since I use a higher resolution. Yes, in this left region, you can see there is a x maximum and minimum. You can just set it into -50 and 50 like this, and you will get this tiny whatever that we make us confused. But we can. It's actually quite simple. Just click this. You get. We can click the various axes. Yes, our phantom will look like this. Quite look like human, and we can also investigate the inside of our phantom. So wait, we're going to see the upper. We see from the bottom of the phantom. We can see that this part is actually the y-axis. The y-axis and this part is x-axis. So if we want to cut this phantom in half, we must choose the y. Look at this. There's an aux plane. Choose checklist the y and then cut positive or negative. Just click negative. It's almost the same. Then we can see the half of our phantom. I think I use the resolution is too high, so the running will be slower. And this is the half of our phantom. If we look from the side, our code is just like it says, cut at the y is equal to 0. So in this part to the negative side, the phantom will be not will be shown. As you can see, there's a lot of organs. There's a lung, a heart, stomach, etc. This is the blue one is the bone, and we got the head. We also, for example, if we want only investigate to the head, so the blue one is actually the z-axis. So we can limit the z-axis from -80 to just I don't know, like 80 positive. So the phantom will be cut in only from 80 to 90, 98.6. This is the geometry of the head. So it's a simple. There is a brain in this area. There's a skull, and this is the spine, and this is the face. So if you want to create such lips cancer, I think it will be uh, first you have to model the mouth. You can use simple geometry like ball to model the mouth, or model another organ at risk. For example, if we need, I don't know, eyes, we can just put some balls in this phantom. So yeah, you can also explore yourself, since this phantom is really, I don't know, big. There's a lot of part that you can explore. You can even cut it in the y-axis, z-axis. I mean, you can cut it. So yeah, you can explore. So I think for phantom, it's only this. After this, we are going to create a simple, very simple cancer. And why I pick some number for those cancer. Do you have any question?
Sir, do we need to develop the whole structure of mouth and teeth too?
If you want to still want to model the lips cancer, it depends. For example, like this, we the way of thinking is like this. So we radiate the cancer, right? When we radiate cancer, will radiate the surrounding, right? The other tissue. What are those other tissue? The problem with our very tutile cancer, I mean like small cancer, is this. What are those other tissue? For example, it's easier to us to model the cancer in the skin of lake, since the skin of lake is just, it's just like this, right? The most possible organ at risk, or organ or tissue that cut the radiation in beside the cancer, it's only muscle, bone, and skin, right? Only three. But if we create such cancer like lips, I think it's will be a lot harder, since the face of our phantom doesn't even have a face, right? I think it's a lot, uh, a little bit difficult. So as a reference, you can see the organ in here. You can write in every end of the code. There is the comment or the description of what the geometry. You got legs, you got lung, liver, stomach, bladder, testes, abdomen, esophagus, our throat, bones, and etc. I think you can, from this part, you can develop cancer. Yes, I think it's like that. Is that answer your question?
Yes, sir. I think it's more easy to put cancer in leg. I think if we choose lips, so we need to develop a lot of things in the background. For example, teeth too. So it is a bit difficult for us. I think we should leg. Is that okay then? Leg or
Um,
any other body part which consists only the muscles.
I think you just make sure, since easier, since cancer on those part is easy to model, I think people already choose those cancer. But we just make sure that nobody does that. If people already pick those cancer, you can pick another cancer. I think, is that answered your question?
Yes, sir, I think.
Okay, and I hope you guys try this by yourself. But as a reference, I will also give you this code that we just yeah, copy. But I hope you guys just create by your own. Actually, there's a material in here already. There's an already material, but I think search you guys should make the better approximation of material. In this phantom modeling, the material of the phantom is not accurate, since the developer of this code just assume that, for example, the muscle is same as bowel, same as stomach, same as heart, same as liver, but in fact is they have different material. So yeah, I will attach this code later in the link of this video. So I think yes, pardon.
Sir, so what we should do? Should we replace the location from lips to any other body parts, or should we keep it?
My suggestion is yes, since if you I have two suggestions, right? What are those tissues? The okay, the first one is, let's say, well, it's only brain, skull, mouth, and neck, and spine, for example. If you search the journal and you find that the other tissue or organ at risk.
Sir, I think there is a lot of research related to brain, skull, mouth, neck, and I think spine. But the types of cancer is also different, sir. So we can pick those two, I think. For example, brain tumor, I think there is a lot of types of brain tumor, isn't it? If we can choose another type of cancer, so it may work out.
I think it's still the same. Since still brain cancer. Even though we know that the elemental composition is different, but I think it's still the same. For if my supervisor, uh, if that I think this is what will my supervisor or lecturer will say if I propose those title. I think it's still the same answer. If you make lips, I mean lips cancer, this context is lips cancer. When we radiate lips cancer, lips cancer, when we radiate lips cancer, we also radiate the other tissue. So we must think, what are those other tissue? If the tissue that we found from the reference is only like brain, skull, mouth, neck, spine, then it's fine, since our phantom still consists of brain, skull, mouth. Mouth we can model as a very simple geometry. There's no problem. Neck, we have neck, spine. But the problem occur when the tissue is like eyes, since our phantom doesn't have eyes. Nose. I don't know. Um, yeah, I think, or even some body part that we don't even know, teeth probably, that we don't know the name. I think it will be hard for us. If you can search the reference, that the reference says that the lips cancer, this is the organ at risk and in lips cancer. But if the reference says this, I think it will be harder. But we can still say to our supervisor or lecturer that we don't include eyes, nose, or teeth as our geometrical phantom since we use ORNL mathematical phantom. So based on this phantom, there is no eyes, nose, and teeth. But I think for the safe one, I think we better pick the cancer that exists in this organ: stomach, liver, lung, esophagus, colon. I think that will be easier. Clavicles, I don't know what does that even mean. Yes, is that answer your question?
Okay, sir. So you are suggesting that we should choose this option which is given in the input. Is that correct?
Yes. Organ that
Okay, sir. Got
exists in the. Yes, the problem is just when the tissue there is not already modeled in this phantom, so we must create another tissue. It's actually fine since my research it's a prostate cancer in this code. There is no prostate cancer, prostate. So I have to model the prostate itself. It's not that difficult actually. I only need to model one organ. But if it's too much, I think I better pick another title of another type of cancer. Is that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. We will try another. We will try to find another topics related which is given in the inputs. Inshallah.
Okay. Okay. So next we are going to make a very simple uh, cancer. We also use the same template. We can use the same.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Uh, for example, there is image we as you shown. For example, if we kept ICNTL 8, it will create a structure. For example, track XZ, which you pointing right now. Oh, no, no, no. Fits input, sir. Yes, sir.
This.
So right, sir.
What's the question? I forget.
You just a little bit back, sir. Back it. Remove this interface to fits input from this from the minimizing input for file for lecture. This input file, sir.
The way I think your question is how I use the track, right? Or what? Can you repeat the question?
Sir, when we done run the simulation, it create bunch of files. For example, track XZ. Then they give it a input file, which also says track XZ. So what is the purpose of this input?
Oh, the purpose of those files.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So thanks. So for example, in track we have this file, right? This track exe. So this is the name of our files. We can what can I say? I think I need a more simple geometry. I'm going to copy paste the same file. this is a simple geometry, and I will delete all other output. So this is will only our file, the lecture, the newest one that I just copied, and the phantom that we just discussed. So when I run this this code, wait, okay, after the simulation has ended, in the folder there will be these existing files. So first we're going to talk about track exe. Track exe is actually the came from this tally, the track tally. Since I make the calculation mode as 0, then there is it's just a regular calculation, transport particle calculation. So it will be like this. We can set this only one picture, but in this example it's multiple picture. This is the regular calculation. But what the purpose of track XZR? Track XZR is just the error of the calculation. So since our calculation have an error, then yeah, this file isn't contain an error. The red one is actually an error. So red means really high error. We can reduce the error by just increasing the number of these max or max specs. So in short, this add track exe is just the path, the trajectory, the the trajectory of the particle, the path that the particle take, and the R1 track XZR, which is the error of those calculation. But what is the purpose of this this track XZ and track tracks R? I mean, the way they have the same name, right? I think that's your question. Why do we need so many files? So for example, if I delete these two, oh my god, I just accidentally delete the file. We can create another, let's say, visualization by using like this. So you can click this. This is actually the result. This is the result, numerical result that have not been visualized yet. So we can make a visualization by just click, right click, show more option, and send to Angel. Angel is a software in PHITS that create the visualization. So now we have the same visualization. So that's the purpose of those files. So actually the out file is the numerical value, and the track exe is just the visualization of this file. So we can delete this, but don't delete this too, since we need those uh, if you want to make a visualization of it. PHITS give us the general the general information of our code. For example, like this, the version of our PHITS. If there is an error, this file will also give us an information. This is the information of our calculation, the color, the energy use, etc., memory use, etc. But I'm not often see this file. I only see this file and if there's an error. So if there's no error, I think this file is not. I'm not that interested into this file. But in the last one, there is a batch. A batch is it's just information of our calculation. For example, if we use a very large of this one, max cast and max batch. For example, I'm going to make it this 10, and then this is 100, 1000. Make it 1000. Our file will be running endlessly. Yes. So yes, our file will running over and over again. And batch out is give us the information of the number of remaining batches. Batches is like an iteration. Just think of it as an iteration. And it will also be updated regularly. You can see this. This is the remaining of our simulation. And this is our code still running. 25, 29, 39, 40, 41, 42, and so on. And look, this is our page file is it's updated. We can stop this program by edit this file. When we edit this file to 0 and then save the file, our program will stop. So the page file is just to stop the program. I think I already explained all of this, the function of this tree. All of the function of all of this output. Is there any question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Proceed, sir.
Okay. And the next, we are going to make a simple geometry of cancer. So we are not going to make a calculation. We just want to make a geometry output. We just we change as 8 mode. First, we delete all of this. We don't need this. We're going to make it from the scratch, from almost 0, and then we just comment this. So you can off the section by right off be in this side, right? If I don't want to this part being compiled or just want to comment all of this, I just put off beside the section name. We are going to make a simple water. There are various ways to write material in bits. One of them is like this. This is the I forget what is the name of this format. The second one is we can write it with the mass fraction. For example, air actually is consists of nitrogen 80%, 80% of nitrogen, and oxygen 20%. So this is a mass fraction. And then we going to add another material. which is tissue. Tissue, we take a look of our book. I'm going to pick the simple material of tissue. This is tissue, soft tissue, ICRU, 4 components. So there are 4 components of this tissue: hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. And I already write in here, so I'm just going to copy this. So this is our material. We have a simple tree material. And the next one, we're going to set up the void and just the surrounding. For you who have not familiar with the concept of void, so when we create a geometry, we must define these two: the 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 air or the void, or the place where you put your geometry. It called void. You can pick a void where is just void, there's nothing there, or you just put an air, regular air. And we also must define explicitly the outer void. So first we're going to create these boundaries. For this, I'm going to use a simple geometry of a spherical at origin with the radius of 60. If you don't know where to find this data, if you remember, you can have the manual of the PHITS. Go to the table of content and pick the survey section. And in this survey section, you can see the symbol, and the parameters to define that surface. So this is just a simple sphere, a ball at the 0.0. I'm just going to comment this. A ball in 0.0.0 with r is equal to 60 centimeter. And the air will be like this. First, the name of the cell. The second one is the material. The material will be, I want to air, so it will be 2. And the second one, it will be the density. I think, again, if you don't familiar with this term, I suggest you to go take a look the manual, search for cell section, and you will get this. This is the format: cell number, the material number, density, and the surface. So the number of cell is 1, the number of material is 2, since air is 2, and the density, for density, we have to check. I forget the density of air. I think it's less. This is air, dry, initial level. So the density is this. Again, we put negative in front of it. There's a way to define the density, but I'm not dive further to this. Positive and negative value give us a different meaning. Negative value give us the density of material. If you put this positive value is a atomic density, so we use negative value. And the surface is 1, right? And the outer void, this is the number of cell. and then the material of outer void is -1. Where do I know? You can just see this PowerPoint, and you can see that the this is outer void, the material will be -1. So you can check those files. And the geometry is +1. So surface 1 is just a ball, as we discussed earlier. A ball with this is a ball with radius of 60 centimeter. So this is air. Air will be inside the ball, and the outer void will be outside the ball. Just going to run this code. We check the file. So this is our file. It looked like this. I think we're not interested in large picture. So I'm going to limit our visualization. I make the maximum Z value is just 20. So this is our visualization. I think still hard to understand what those mean, what the color mean. So we can use this mat name color, material name and its color. Material 1 is water. So yeah, I think I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change the first one since it's already I want water as a pastel blue. But for the air, I think I will have air. I think the air will be, I don't know, blue. And the issue, or let's say cancer. Let's ask cancer. Cancer as, let's say red, no, yellow. Okay, we're going to run for the second time. And we get this. So this blue is just air. There is no water since I don't use water. Yes, this is our framework. We can put anything in here. I'm going to create a simple geometry of cancer, but we must search, right? We cannot model something that doesn't exist. At least we close to it. So this is just a regular simulation. There's people who simulate radiotherapy with MCNP, and let's see what the PTV, CTV, and GTV that they use here. So the GTV, gross tumor volume, is 3 centimeter. GTV, clinical target volume, is 3.6 centimeter, and the planning target volume is 4 centimeter. So we're going to use this data, 3, 3.5, and 3.6, and 5. So we add another surface in here. Surface number 2. I'm not going to use sphere at origin. I'm just going to use our original sphere that we can set the central the origin, that we can set the origin. Another things that I want to introduce is how we can make a constant or variable in PHITS. We're going to use this. We set C1 and then our variable like this. I think it's like this. So our variable name will be C1, C2, and C3. C1 is just X, C2 is Z, and C3 is Z. C2 is Y. Sorry. C1, C2, and C3. So C1 until C3 is just the origin of our cancer. And the radius will be, this is going to be GTV. So remember, the GTV is 3. 3. And then we just pass it since they're almost the same. 3, 4, since the number of surface cannot be the same. And then this is for GTV, and PTV. This is 3, 3.6, and this is 4. So we already make the surface. We're going to add it. Cell number 2, the material is tissue or cancer, if you want. The density of tissue is almost 1. Let's take a look the density of cancer. Most of the publication, they
I think it's 1.0500 something, sir.
yes,
07.
yes, there are a lot of publication. Just pick one. For example, this is I got this 1.079. In here I got 1.03. For example, yeah, my point is in here I got even 1.2 until 1.001. Yes, so my point is there are a lot of reference that you can use. Just pick one. Just pick one. It's not a big deal. The problem is when we just pick a random number. So yeah, you can use the number that you said earlier. But for simplicity, I just pick a -1, and the surface will be 2 inside of 2. This is will be GTV. So the color should be, this is the material, is 3, right? The color should be yellow, but does it will be yellow? But I don't really know. Let's see. Let's check our. Oh, why it is this is black? Why, right? We want it to be yellow, but this is black. We not even define any material that have a color of black. So this error called double define. Double define is when there are more than one material occupy the same place. So they intercept each other. So when there is a geometry error, double define, in our folder there will be a new file that different from before. There is this track xz q. So in this file, we get the information of this. What cells that intercept each other. So cells 1 intercept with cells number 2. And this is the location of where they intercept. So simply we just doing this. We put #2. So with #2, the geometry of air is a ball in the origin with radius of 60 except for cell 2. So we just exclude our cancer as, yeah, we just exclude it. That's the simple language. And our error will be none. So this is the cancer, the first layer, we call the GTV. And we can add another layer, the third and second layer uh, is CTV. And the number 3, material still the same, density is still the same, but the surface is -3. And we will have another error. Our geometry will be partially black. Still, again, still black. We can look the same file to see it, which one that intercept. Okay, now let's exclude 3 from cell 3. Let's exclude 3 from cell 1. We do the same thing, but actually it's not enough since you are going to see by yourself. It will be another error like this, only partially. We can see the same file. We see that, oh wow, another cells intercept each other. Now cell number 3 and number 2. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Since they are a ball with a different radius that occupy the same place. So some part of the ball, some part of the ball will be intercept each other. So we're going to put the this. So we just exclude cell number 2 from cell number 3. Since cell number 3 is bigger than cell number 2. Going to run the same way. So it will look like this. The GTV or cell number 2 is more, it's inside in the center, and then we got the second layer, cell number 3, and the final cell, the final layer, which is almost the same. With the same logic, we can just create this fastly, and then we add this in air. No, there's a duplicate. ID number of cell is duplicated. So the number of cell cannot be the same. My fault. Then we will have the cancer. This is the cancer. We got PTV, GTV, and QTV. This is in the center of origin. If let's say I want to move it to this side in this Z value of 10 centimeter, then I can just change this one. If I change the C3, then this value will change, right? So our our diagram will be changed according to our parameter. Yeah, it will look like this. We can even name the GTV, PTV, and PTV like this. we assign it, we make it as a different material. The composition is the same, but just the number of material. Yellow, red, I don't know, blue, pink, but purple. And then we assign in different material. Then we get this beautiful looking visualization. I think that's it. The I think the third question is how we can put this geometry to our phantom. But I think it will be in the next meeting since since when we combine those phantom, they will be a little bit complicated than just create the cancer like this. But yeah, I think it's for the next meeting. You got any question?
No, sir. I think today is enough, sir. I think you also get that. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay,
But wait,
thanks.
sir. But
Yes.
just wait for 1 minute, sir. I have to receive the call and I have one question.
Pardon? You want to what?
Sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Today for today is enough, sir. I think. Yes. Sir. Thank
Oh,
you, sir.
okay. Okay, thanks. I think and that's enough for today.
Sir,
Thanks for your
and please share the both input phantom inputs and rod.
Yes, I will share this file.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Now.